Bit of an unusual Modular Monday this week because I'm actually not at home, and if there's one thing that's very difficult with modular is carrying it around with you. Some of you who follow me on Instagram have noticed that I'm sporting a new portable rig. I've not bought any of the Native Instruments hardware before, so I can't really kind of comment on that, but I think they've absolutely nailed it with this. This is the M32, it's their new mini controller. The keys feel great. They are smaller than the ones that I had on, is it the RME? The problem I had with that one is it just was too fragile. It would break all the time, the keys would get torn off, but also you had to have a breakout cable for the sustain pedal, and this is where they have scored high in my mind. Native Instruments. They've got a standard, 1/4" jack for a sustain pedal, so that's like piano style, lovely, comfortable sustain pedal, and I'm a total tart with sustain. In you go. I believe we can program all of these controllers. I haven't figured that out yet, and if anyone knows how I can program expression onto the pitch one here, that would be much appreciated. But this is a win for me because what I used to have to carry around with me was the RME keyboards, excuse me, so I've got the name wrong, with a breakout for the sustain pedal and the pallet gear fader debris. This is all self-contained. The velocity sensitivity is about equivalent to the other keyboard. It's okay, never great when you've got not that much travel here, but a great solution. And this, unlike the other keyboard I used to carry around with me, actually fits in most of my luggage. So if you're new to Modular Mondays, just a little recap. It's basically not always about modular, and it's not always about Mondays, but it is about breaking out of the box. Myself, an ignorant in this respect, experimenting with modular synths, Eurorack, and other treats and toys and pieces of our train set, and then a gentleman, very good friend over in New York called Sandy, who really does know about this gear. This maybe doesn't fit quite into the remit of Modular Mondays, so what to do? Yes, I've been a naughty boy, but Moog, they've still got it, you know, the way they present stuff, it's just, they're kind of, it's amazing for a company that was founded, in 1900 and frozen to death. They've still got soul and passion, and they're just so cool. This is the Moog Sirin, which I believe is a limited edition, although I see this is machine number 1522. It's called the Analog Messenger of Joy, and I believe it's based on the Taurus bass synth, but the oscillator goes higher, but boy is it fat. This Modular Monday thing is about us getting out of the box so that we don't allow computers to shape the way that we make music. And if you haven't experienced a bit of kind of outboard kit, a bit of analog synthesizer, I would say this would be the one to start with. Anyway, we'll get on to the Sirin in a minute. Thankfully, Sandy has, as always, saved the day with an amazing jam and an explanation of how he created it.
Hi Christian, this will be the last self-indulgent jam video for a little while. I'm going to look at some more conceptual and technical ideas in the next few videos, maybe do a deep dive on a couple of modules or a particular patch idea. But for now, I'm going to jump into the video with Analog Rhythm, Analog 4 and the modular. It builds on some of the ideas from last week's patch, except now the notes are less static. Everything is getting the same melodic line on the modular, but they're all being triggered at different times. So I'll explain that in a video looking at multiples that I'm going to be working on that's coming out soon. But for now, if you think of a guitar as an analogy, each patch is getting the same left-hand information, the notes themselves, but the right hand, the rhythm that those notes are being played at, is different for each of the different modules. Besides that, the rhythm is the source of most of the percussion. It's mostly just muting. I have now figured out how to get the performance mode that I looked at in a previous video a little while back to send MIDI into the analog rhythm and therefore CV out into the modular, so I'm going to explore some of the possibilities there. I've figured out some ways of clocking the Pamela's new workout, but I'm going to explore that a little bit more to see the best way that I can get a sort of reliable transport, so the starting beat is the right tempo when it happens on the first beat of the measure and so on. But I'll jump straight into the video now and we'll see what that all sounds like.
Amazing work, Sandy, as always. Right, let's have a look at this Sirin. So this has got two oscillators, i.e. two sound sources. You mix them here. So here's the first and the second. And then you can adjust the pitch of the second VCO and change the waveform. The all-important cutoff filter. The great thing about Moog synths is if you buy a synth, you buy the filter, and there is an input, so you can actually use this filter without having to use the synth. And we know that Moog filters are just awesome. We've also got CV inputs, so you can actually automate these kind of cut-off frequencies from an external modular source. You've got your volume here and you've got your envelope, so these will control your filter. And this is your amplitude. And this switches your release on and off. Don't really see the point of that, but it's a feature. And we also have the glide portamento. Sounds so super fat. We also have a low frequency oscillator, so this is something that's undulating up and down. You can set the rate there, and basically you can send it to either the oscillators, so you can change the pitch over time, or indeed to the filters. So let's have a go at this. Or let's have a look at the pitch. It'll take note information from either USB MIDI or standard 5-pin DIN MIDI. It's got a small headphone out, which I think is the right choice. And the reason I say that, it's kind of ironic that I've just bought one of these as a little mobile rig, the Focusrite, and they've got a bloody big one. And you don't take big headphone jacks on the road with you. So I think this is an error. This is correct. You're not going to be using this with headphones in your studio, but you are on the road if you want to take your train set with you. And finally, you can fine tune it here. Seconds to explain to you. Sounds so super fat. If you want a piece of Moog, I really think this is a great starting point. Well, it's been an amazing week down here in London. You'll be pleased to hear I've captured loads of behind-the-scenes footage. I've got an amazing interview to share with you, a special appearance with a very special guest. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And ding that bell if you want to be notified the next time I put up a video. One of those, always appreciated if you've enjoyed what Sandy and I have done here today. See you next time.